Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. Just trying to get some information about XRP and these ETFs. So I did put the information together and we will see what we can see. So let me know what you guys think, what you found, and if we can keep up here. So what I do know is there was a ETF launch today, which is the Grayscale. Shout out to Grayscale. But the Grayscale is part of a few ETFs. It is not just a what is this? It's not just a XRP only. It appears to be a group. Let me start the screen share and see what we can see. So this is the bubbles. Generally, we start with the bubbles. Let's see what's going on. Where are we? XRP is, dang it. Okay, here we go. XRP is down 3.7, which is understandable. Dang it. Back down to $2.99. I wish I would have waited, but generally there's a pullback before the price takes off. Down 4% on the day, down 0.7 on the hour, down 1.1 on the week, up 3% on the month, and up 412 for the year. So let's see. Solana's down 4.6, Pepe's down 5.7. Stronghold is down 10.4. Must be something going on in the market. Looks like the market as a whole is down. Jupiter's down 4.9. Casper is down 5.2, back down to 8 cents. Come on, guys. Ondo's down 5. Bartcoin's down 7.7. Claire's down 3.8. AI 16Z's down 7.4. XPX is down 9.7. Mudan's down 7.1. Tao's down 6.2, Quant's down 3, Alchemy Pay is down 3.7, HBAR's down 4.1, AIZ6, AIZBT's down 3.6, Mr. Magels is down 11, Arrow's down 7.9, HFF hash flow is down 7.3, Cubic is down 5.3, Bonk is down 6.4. Radium is down 6.9. Brett is down 11. Turbo's down 5.6. Prime is down 5.6. Near is up actually 4.9. Metals up 2.3. Make sure you pay attention to the things that are green on days. Everything else is red. White is up 1.6. Render's down 3.5. AI Tech is up 5.5. HTX is up 3%. So let's go over to X and see what we can see. So this is the XRP showing a repeated fractional pattern. Current structure mirrors one seen before on a major rally. After weeks of tight consolidation, a $10 breakout could be near. Shut the front door. Holy bugs. Confirmed 48 million XRP left on Coinbase. At this rate, Coinbase will be completely empty by Monday. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Let me know in the comments. Strategic proposal to dissolve the 38 trillion national debt using XRP. Trillions are about to flood the XRP ledger powered by Real Token, the number one RWA DeFi play on XRPL, which is the XRP ledger. The breakout is inevitable. This is going to be massive. Secure Real Token now before the supply shock hits. Real Token on XRP is still 0.03. with projected 22 billion market cap, the price targets draw dropping 669.5 per token. So is there a real token? What is this token? What's he talking about? So this is the real XRP. That's weird. There's the actual real XRP token. I have to come back to that. Strategic proposal to dissolve the U.S. $38 trillion debt. This is the Grayscale. This is one of the tokens we're talking about. Grayscale Coin Desk Crypto. 5 ETFs with XRP as the third largest holding. Opens at $58. Let's go. And this is a ETF that is on the actual stock market. So this is not a crypto. This is a exchange trading fund for your actual Fidelity. I saw mine on Fidelity brokerage. What is this? E-Trade. I'm not sure if E-Trade has it, but your brokerage where you can buy stocks yourself. Okay, keeping it moving. This is a quick snap. Ripple CEO Brad Gensler. Hold on, let me stop this. Confirms pursuit of U.S. banking charter, OCC license, and federal master account. You're not anti-regulation. We want it the right way. The road for XRP just got a lot bigger. So shout out to Brad. And these guys are really pushing to start their own bank. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And super chat. Let's go.
You still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account. We think that the key here for crypto and the kind of decentralized finance, as many people call it, Ripple has been building bridges between traditional finance and decentralized finance. The world isn't going to be taken over by crypto. Instead, we think about how do we take the best of what crypto brings in facilitating faster, cheaper transactions and bring it to traditional finance. That's been at the heart of what Ripple has been focused on from the beginning. This is a step towards that, and certainly getting an OCC license. For those that have said that the crypto world wants to be unregulated, whatever, the opposite is true. You know, I'm here in Washington in part, as you referenced, there's a Senate Banking Committee hearing today. We are advocating as an industry to be regulated. And those that, like Ripple, who have stepped forward and said, we want to get an OCC license, in addition to the licenses we have with the New York Department of Financial Services, it only continues to augment that very robust, very compliance-first, trusted partner so that we can continue to use these technologies to benefit consumers and businesses alike.
A shout out to Brad Gensenhauser and that Gensenhaus, I'm tripping, and that video about these guys still pursuing the banking license. So this is Smoke, the Rex Osprey, which I hope I'm saying right. XRP ETF directly holds XRP tokens. And I made a video about this last night. I tried to get it out earlier, but it took a while, so it didn't come out. But it did release last night. This is the Osprey, Rex Osprey. The ETF fund seeks investment results before fees and expenses. This corresponds to the performance of the XRP. The XRP or reference asset investing in the fund is not equal to investing directly into XRP. And I think it started yesterday, the September 19th, and it was at $25. I think it came down some. But let me know if you guys got in on that as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The fund holds XRP tokens, a crypto asset that is native to the XRP blockchain. Crypto assets are subject to extreme volatility, regulatory uncertainty, market manipulation, security risks, and technical changes. The value of the fund will fluctuate with the price of XRP, which is influenced by a range of factors, including adoption of the XRP network, network congestion, smart contract failures, validators misbehaving, and the emergence of competing platforms. Additionally, uh, uh, crypto asset exchanges and counterparts may be less regulated than traditional financial institutions and are subject to fraud, hacking, and operational disruptions. So shout out to that Offspray,
You still want
Offspray. This is the Bank of America sits comfortably with Ripple, with multiple patents filed in relation to its real-time settlement using Ripple Ledger. Ripple's going to be the track that everything is going to be running on in the future.
They've got
So we hear
83
this
different
over and over.
patents.
Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this Ripple will be the rails for future transactions? Let's play this video real quick and I'll be right back.
One you like is Ripple. You said it is the coin to be looking at right now.
Absolutely.
Why?
Okay, so Ripple actually was the second largest coin prior to the SEC's investigation of them. They did this really weird lawsuit against them. And basically, the Ripple is going to be the track that everything's going to be running on in the future. So they created their own stable coin right now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions. They've got 83 different patents on it. And there's some incredible stuff that's going to be coming out. So
there you have it. That was from an individual. We played that clip a lot more when it was sort of released. But he essentially makes a claim that Bank of America were doing their internal transactions with Ripple. Of course, they were an attendee. There are a lot of patents out there, like the one that you can see here, where it actually shows on figure 7. This is from the Bank of America. You can see current assignee Bank of America Corp. It's from Brandon Matthew Castagna and Beth Annie Warner. They actually published this patent. It says real-time net settlements by distributed ledger system. And you can see here, look who we've got. Ripple. Ripple's DLT. Ripple's DLT on figure 7. I mean, the picture couldn't be a more clear one.
That just shows you a few of the patents. This is 16.48 mil just shifted from Coinbase cold wallets to Coinbase institutional. High liquidity injection in hours. And let's see here. That 16.4 mil XRP. Interesting. So what do you think is going on to cause this shift? I think there is a lot of momentum on the way. Everyone's saying XRP is a scam, while the U.S. Treasury just got tokenized on the XRP ledger. That's the 27 trillion market. This is how real adoption starts. Stop fading XRP. It's just generational ignorance. And you can see here, U.S. Treasury is 83 mil one, 30 million for Ondo, 30 million for Treasury services. Well, oh wow. That is interesting. But it doesn't really show that XRP is what they're buying. Unless that's the contract address that starts with a R. Interesting. There's some chilling there. Wait. Calling it a scam, and those are the Bitcoin maxis. I'm not calling it a scam, but I'm starting to believe it's not going to be as high as many are saying. Projected value ranging from $3.74 to $7.10 per token. If it secures 10% of the market cap driven by efficiency and institutional demand. The integration of XRP with central bank digital currency, CBDC, and its use in real-time global payroll systems are emerging use cases that could further drive adoption. So shout out to another flutter as usual. Let me see where were we? Here. No reason why XRP won't hit $8 by the end of the year. That's reasonable. 20% XRP by the end of the day. With the ETF launching, Ripple's major partnerships and volume surging is not just a wish, it's a warning shot. Updating. The potential of XRP to revolutionize cross-border payments is demonstrated by its 60% cost reduction and increased liquidity through Ripple Power Solutions. Let's go. Ripple President Monica Long has been invited to join the U.S. Senate's Banking Committee Crypto Market Structure Roundtable, a major step forward shaping the future of crypto legislation with Ripple at the table. XRP's voice is now echoing Washington. So XRP is starting to bring some bells, guys. It's only a matter of time before XRP makes that move. How can anyone still doubt XRP right now? Mining companies are shifting into XRP. Ripple just sealed a 100 million share deal with RLUSD. Adoption is rising. Institutions are loading up with mass amounts. The bridge currency is clearly being accumulated. XRP news, Biopowered International. Its mining subsidy will expand operations significantly. Crate Digital plans to swap mining tokens for XRP's positions at substantial discounts at market rate. The company estimates the strategy provides efficient XRP exposure at 65% below current trading prices. Management did not specify exact acquisition targets or which mine cryptocurrencies. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wonder. What you mining that you exchanging for XRP, bro? Harit digital currency. Digital currently operates mining facilities for Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dodge. According to company documentation, the firm will leverage bulk purchase discounts to expand its mining fleet substantially. Velo Power first unveiled XRP Treasury strategies in May 2025 with backing from a 121 million private placement. His Royal Highness Prince somebody, Turkey Bean, Alta AI led the investment through the 8th holding company. 11th holding company? I don't know. Former Ripple board member Adam joined the advisory board chairman and participated in funding the company's subjected BitGo as an exclusive custodian and over-the-counter trading partner for XRP acquisitions. Partners agreements with Flare blockchain developers enable yield generation of holdings VO Power allocated $100 million initially for the yield program, with plans to reinvest income directly into reserves. If you want to read that, that'll be on my page as well. Breaking news, a lot of breaking news today for XRP. CEM Group to launch XRP future options on October 13th, pending approval. A major step toward institutional adoption and deeper market liquidity. Just in trading for Grayscale Digital large cap begins today. The dawn of a new financial era starts. And I said, your boys, Grayscale, let's go. Let me check this video real quick. Let's see what my main man, digital asset investor, has to say. And then we'll go to chat and ask chat a couple questions about these ETFs.
Spin sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor and we have a 303 XRP. The market's kind of flat right now. Ray Dalio says gold and non-fiat currencies will strengthen as U.S. debt surges per CNBC, so lock in. Look at this, semi-shot, one of the ETF guys, Rex XRP ETF XRPP is already at 24 million in volume. That is way more than I would have thought. For context, it's 5 times more than the XRP futures ETFs did in one day, and it's only been 90 minutes. Then this was at 11:09 a.m. yesterday. Then at 5:48 p.m., he says XRPR traded 37.7 million in day one, which edges out odds for the biggest day one natural dollar volume on any 2025 launch. DOGE is no slouch at 17 out of 710 launches. Good sign for the onslaught of 33 act ETFs coming soon. We told you it was going to happen. And then Wolf of All Streets, Rex Osprey ETF hit 37.7 million. Highest natural day one volume of any 2025 ETF launch, XRP setting records, folks. And then today we get Grayscale. Grayscale's digital large cap fund is now Grayscale CoinDesk Crypto 5 ETF, and it's launching tomorrow, which is today. Bank XRP had tweeted this out yesterday. That one's going to contain 5 different digital assets. Stuart Alradi says important development, new listing standards bring crypto ETFs further into the mainstream markets. Regulatory clarity isn't just good policy, it builds confidence for Americans. And then there's this, Chad Steingraber, Kraken just turned up with direct USD to XRP, 18.16 million just flooded in. Folks, this is part, I've told you 1,000 times, this market has been rigged for Bitcoin, Ethereum for the last decade. One of the ways we've talked about the ways they've rigged it, but one of the main ways they rigged it, I'll never forget when I first came into crypto and discovered Ripple. In order to buy XRP, you had all the pairings were with Bitcoin. So you had to go from US dollar into Bitcoin, and then you had to send the Bitcoin and wait for confirmations, which could take up to an hour, and they did back then. You would have to wait for the confirmations to get the Bitcoin to another exchange, which was very, gray area whether you could trust all the other exchanges, and then buy XRP with the Bitcoin pair. That lasted for a long time. But even to this day, the main pairings have been Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether. This is part of how they rigged the market for the Bitcoin and Ethereum to get the most liquidity. It's in your face. It's been that way for a long time, and it's part of the reason. That's part of the reason that I realized there was something going on when we first started uncovering ETHgate, because I had watched the markets be rigged in their favor. I watched Coinbase. If you remember back then, before Ripple was sued, the I remember looking at it going, why are all the tokens Bitcoin and Ethereum based tokens back during the ICO time? This thing was a rigged game, folks, in many, many ways. Regulatory monopoly for those two. It was a rigged game. That rigged game is about over. You're about to have that level playing field finally. You're kind of in the midst of it, but once we get regulation, it's game over. You have not seen a real market yet, but it's coming. Here's Brian Armstrong, and he's one of the symptoms of what we've all been through anyway. You'll notice in this clip, Bitcoin, Ethereum. That's all he mentions. He's been one of the cogs in the wheel all these years.
I'm here in Washington, D.C. again, fighting for your rights to try to get some market structure legislation passed for crypto. This would be foundational, just like we did for stablecoins a few months ago with the Genius Act. Market structure legislation protects all the other non-stablecoin and crypto assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum. The Senate is strongly supportive of getting this done. The members that I met with on both sides of the aisle are ready to get this legislation passed, and there's draft text now being exchanged back and forth and with the industry for comment, which is great. We saw a lot of alignment today. Now, of course, this hasn't stopped the big banks from trying to throw a wrench into things, and they're trying to ban rewards on stablecoins. The members of the Senate who I spoke to, they're not going to let that happen. That was already litigated and decided in the Genius Act for stablecoins. They're not going to bring it up again. But barring these little details here and there, I think this thing has a good chance of getting done. I've actually never been more bullish on market structure getting passed.
It's going to get done because it's national security.
It's a freight train.
But you're going to see a lot of drama in the meantime. They're going to make you think, oh, no, it might not happen.
Leaving the station. So we're going to keep showing up, fighting for your rights. You can do a lot to help by going to standwithcrypto.org and contacting your representatives. Let them know that you want to see market structure legislation passed for crypto.
Okay. Now, listen to this, folks. I think all bets are off on all this cycle talk, but I think these guys are right about how this is going to happen.
Now, how early or late are we in this cycle where you can see that this is the normal cycle, the dotted black line, the low point is the trough of the cycle, and the red line is where we are now. So this looks late. We've got to accept that. It doesn't mean it's about to end, but we've got to know we're nearer the end than we are at the beginning, and that's clearly an important factor.
When do you think it finishes, by the way? Normally would have finished sometime this end of this year, but it feels like it's going to push out into Q2 next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost exactly where, if I go back to looking at this cycle, that's where we would sort of suggest it's probably going to inflate sometime around about early 2026.
Now, there you go. I think from now to 2026 is going to be glorious. Period. Okay. Let me tell you what, folks. I'm 51 years old, and if I've learned anything, karma is real, and karma will come back around on you. And in Gary Gensler's case, there's nobody more deserving of karma than this guy. He's getting it even from his CNBC buddies. This guy permanently ruined his reputation, in my opinion. Not that it was that great beforehand. He had a chance. I remember before he came in, we all thought because he was taught blockchain at MIT, he was going to be great for this. But unfortunately for crypto, Gary Gensler, we all forgot that Gary Gensler is nothing but a tool of politicians. He's nothing but a toady for the Elizabeth Warrens of the world. And now the entire world knows it, and they should know it.
They are reversing a lot of what you did. And how are you feeling about what they're doing now?
So I'm very proud of what we accomplished.
And the crypto community is ecstatic not to have you there anymore and to have him there. Looking back on it.
No, I'll be the first to admit, I'm glad he ain't there for sure. So let me know what you think. Did you guys like Gensler? Gensler helped the crypto community, or was he just in the way? As digital asset investor mentioned, this guy was just a tool, man. He was just there in the way from what I can remember. But let me know what you guys think about that as well. And I'm going to switch to another video real quick. And we'll come back to digital asset investor. This is my main man.
Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Mhm. Oh, is that ever good? And guys, I'm drinking out of my Bob's Big Boy cup. Now, my kids out in LA took me to a Big Boy's that's still in existence over there, and they got me this cup while I was there. And I really love it, guys, because it's a fond memory of my childhood when there was a Bob's Big Boy, in the town that I was living in and growing up in. And it was just a really great place that you could go and get some, great hamburgers and floats and all kinds of stuff, and really a fun spot, that's for sure. But beyond that, I love the fact that it is a Big Boy cup. Guys, you gotta put on your big boy pants when you're dealing with this space. I'll tell you what, wow, wow, wow. Mhm. Is the psychology of in this space on like crazy. So, guys, right now we're at XRP's at what, $3.03 or something like that. And of course, it has come down. And
So it looks like XRP is actually at $3.01. It's coming down for us to pick it up. So let me know what you guys think about it. And let me see here.
and a lot of folks are out there and they're saying, well, look at, we got the news that we had the 25 basis points drop and the whole thing is down and XRP's down. And, oh, wow, that just shows you can't do nothing no matter what good news you get and all that. Well, the whole crypto market's down, and it's not just XRP. But this is a tell of every psychological move that they have done. Look, it is buy the rumor, sell the news. We know this. We expect it. But how long do you think it's going to be like this? It's not going to be like this for long, guys, because I'll tell you what, we just saw the Russell close at an all-time high that it has not even happened in multiple years, and it just did it the other day. So think about it. Do you not think that that is going to eventually translate into here? It's kind of like, when the dam bursts, it takes a little while for the water to actually get to every little part, doesn't it? And that's where we're at. The dam has bursted, guys. And I do believe the water, the flood of that money, which is going to move into all of these, equity markets, this digital asset space, and all that. Well, when it hits our shores, it usually the volatility causes it to genuinely spike. But you're going to have these moments where people are going to actually be, oh, well, what's going on? And all this and that. It is meant to do that. And it is how they play the game. And it never ceases to amaze me just how many times you can watch it happen. And it's kind of like folks just don't learn. A lot of people, they just succumb to that fear. And you have to wonder, okay, what is it exactly that causes them to do the same thing over and over and over? Well, you know what it is, guys? It's that programmable thinking. How are people making their decisions? Like their methods of decisiveness. They're so convinced that those are great methods, yet they make the same mistakes over and over and over. And what do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Guys, it's not going to happen. You've got to change the way in which you process the information that you're getting. And I don't blame a lot of folks because it has been built right into us, guys. I mean, come on. The whole educational system, the way in which it's made is to actually just educate the risk right out of folks. Educate the risk right out of them, where they're just too scared to take a risk. No, what you want to do is you want to get a great education. Nothing against education, that's for sure. But get a great education, go out there and, get $100,000 of debt, in your college education so that when you get out, well, you can go have a job over here and just work for someone else and be part great part of society, making everybody else rich, making everybody else's dream get fulfilled, and then that dream that you had turns into an absolute nightmare because you get out of that college degree literally in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt before you even start off. And on top of that, no career that they said you were going to have. Lots of people facing that, guys, taking them at least 3 to 5 years before they actually fall into the area in which they were trained to do. Meanwhile, They get out, they give them a new credit card. Oh, you got to have a new car, got to get you a car debt. Oh, you're going to buy a house. Let's get you on a 30-year mortgage and on and on and on. And you basically are on that hamster wheel your whole life. Then you go to retire and hey, let's get you to retire. But you know what? Hey, you don't even have enough to genuinely, it is just truly unbelievable. But that's the thing. And that's why I say they've educated the risk out of people. Why wouldn't you go out there and at least take your shot and see whether or not, in an open economy, in a free market, that you could really make it and absolutely change your life and maybe be the first person in your family line to see significant wealth? How about that? Well, nope, they don't want you doing that. And they've conditioned us with fear, guys. They manipulate us with both fear and greed. What is this space measured in? It's measured in a fear and greed index. Now, I don't know any good financial decisions, as I like to say, based on fear of missing out, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And oh, is greed ever a motivator? Oh, yes, it is. But it's also a deceiver, guys. It's the very thing they use to just keep you hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. So you got to be able to identify what the environment is telling you. And that's why I say, get yourself educated. Get to identify these psychological markers, what the psychology of this market and the why behind it. It's not just what's going on. Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Ask yourself that question and then go out and find the answer, because it is there. And I can tell you guys, they're not doing it because the whole system is literally there to take the wealth and move it from here over to here. And in fact, the middle class right now is being absolutely decimated to the point where it probably will not even exist the way that we think. Oh yeah, they'll be the rich, but then there'll be the poor and the poorer and that kind of thing. And they get you to look, have this whole attitude of being satisfied with less and less and less and less, in the sense of, and I do believe in contentment. I never underestimate that power of contentment, but we're not talking about it in that capacity. We're talking about it. They want you to lower your standards of your own personal potential. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you excel? Aim high, aim far, your goal the sky, your aim the star. Why would you not go out and do that? Never, not ever fear competition, guys. They got people terrified. Oh, David, there's another company out there doing just what XRP does. And so what? Who cares? Do you not think? Look, competition is the cure for complacency. Not everybody deserves to get a blue ribbon. You earn it, guys. And you do it by tenacity, stick-to-itiveness, not giving up. Don't give up on yourself. And for goodness sakes, do not give up on your dreams because someone else gave up on theirs. And have that stick-to-itiveness. Look, if you don't believe it, then fine, bow out. But if you believe it, but you're just afraid.
So shout out to Digital Outlook, and he's talking about how things are going in the wealth transfer. But let's get back to X. So reminder, Santander actually worked for Santander for a while. Spain's biggest bank is stepping into crypto, launching a retail trading via open bank across Europe. While XRP isn't officially listed yet, the momentum is real and mainstream adoption accelerating. Stay ready. The next wave is coming. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's only a matter of time. And this is the XRP ledger on the XRP scan. The number of accounts currently active on XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, which is the rail, crossed 7 million mark today. And it says active accounts exactly 7 million. So let's check the XRP scan actually while we're here and see what we can see. Don't blink. XRP is heading to $4 faster than expected. Please and thank you. XRP is on track to hit $4 faster than you expected. So I think that's all the XRP information. So actually, yeah, still at 7 million. 14.2 million XRP burned. And this is 35.3 billion in escrow. I'm gonna keep an eye on this account actually. But let me know what you guys think. Got another quick video. XRP, JP Morgan just confirmed the XRP move. Let's watch this real quick and call it a day.
They're going to be bragging about how you saw it early, or are you wishing you haven't ignored it? Look, the signs are lining up. ETFs are going live, the banks are making moves, and the biggest institutions in the world are quietly validating what we've been screaming for years. The shift, it's already happening. And it's still on the sidelines, you're going to miss the kind of wealth transfer that people write about in books. I'm going to break it all down from the ridiculous signals that prove the top isn't in to a brand new, yes, a brand new XRP ETF launch going down today. And it is a fully spot backed ETF. And then we're going to do a little throwback to 2021. Do you see what I got in store for you? So without further ado, folks, welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're coming back for some more of that good info, that real info, that no hype, no fluff info, nothing but the facts and all the facts. Well, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube's going to push this video, and I want this thing trending all day. Without further ado, let's jump in with total cryptocurrency market cap. Hey, new all-time high was hit, right? 4.07 trillion, excuse me. Bitcoin still within its range, coming in at $116,570. Ethereum coming in at 4,532, and XRP $3.03. Average crypto RSI. Look, the RSI told you where you are at for your crypto. The overall market is right at a 49. When not oversold, when not overbought. It's like people are very content at this moment. But guess what? We are going so much higher. To put this out, here's the thing everyone got wrong. The markets haven't even sniffed euphoric levels yet. How do we know? It's easy. The top isn't in until your Uber driver's telling you to buy the dip. Jim Cramer flips bullish on Bitcoin. And then when you got grandma is over there yield farming Pepe from her iPad. We're nowhere close, folks. No blow off tops, no insane mania candles, no mainstream herd stampede. That means we still got serious room to run. And XRP, with everything happening around it, the setup to be at the heart of it all. Now, if you're feeling uncertain right now, well, that's your signal that the move hasn't even started, folks. October is your time frame. And by the way, if you're sitting there thinking, all right, this sounds huge, but what is my actual plan? Here's the deal. My schedule is jammed, completely booked out this week. Next week is filling up fast. Got a couple more one-on-one slots that are open. If you want a real strategy tailored to your portfolio, your XRP positioning, and entry and exit plan, advanced million, almost 38 million folks for the XRP ETF that went live. Yes, I understand. It's not a fully spot ETF. It's a hybrid. That is okay. Because what is it showing us? It is showing us that there is demand. What's going to happen come October when the grayscale decision hits in that first, I believe it was like the first week and a half, we're going to get the decision on it. It gets approved. It starts trading within 24 hours after approval. Then we get another one right after it. I think it's back to back to back to back days. ETF approved for XRP. For like 4 or 5 days in a row, we're going to have new approvals coming up. What do you think is going to happen to the price of in October? And to top that all off, we've talked about the narrative behind this as well. And the narrative behind it is that 2 to 4 weeks before swell, the price of XRP always pumps. Swell is November. 2 to 4 weeks before November puts you exactly in the month of October. I've been kicking and screaming this for quite some time. Please pay attention. I do firmly deep down inside, and you know me, I don't put a lot of predictions out there, especially with timetables attached to them, because anything can happen in crypto. And look, no one has a crystal ball when this thing's going to exactly move. But October, everything I have seen, October is looking like the month as long as those ETFs get approved. They can go one or two ways. If they get approved or they get denied, there is no more delaying it. And now today, let's talk about the elephant in the room today. Another XRP ETF is going live, and not just some fringe derivative. This is a fully spot-based ETF, and it is structured inside of a basket with a 4 to 6% XRP allocation. Look, that might not sound huge on surface, but this is why it's massive. Institutions, they don't move in singles. They move in packs. First, it's Bitcoin. Then it's Ethereum. Now XRP is creeping into regulated baskets. That means your pension funds, your retirement accounts, your brokerage firms are all getting indirect exposure to XRP, whether they realize it or not. You know what happens next, right? Liquidity floods in. And once you have enough ETFs, they start competing for flows, which forces them to buy more XRP. Do you understand that this snowball is rolling downhill? And once it gets down, there's no pushing this thing back up, folks. JP Morgan, here's your goosebumps part. I hope you're ready. You better lock into your seat. Sit down for this. Hold on to something. Because remember back in 2021, JP Morgan said if Ripple wins the SEC lawsuit that XRP has posed for significant adoption, well, hey, guess what? News check. Ripple won. XRP won. That wasn't speculation. That was the biggest bank in America laying down the blueprint. And now, here we are. ETFs, banking integrations, cross-border rails lighting up. JP Morgan's prediction is unfolding in real time. This isn't hype anymore, everyone. This is legacy finance finally validating what the XRP army already knew. When a bank that moves trillions says XRP adoption is invertible here, you better believe that the price won't sit still. I get it. It's $3 right now. We had a little bit of fun yesterday, got up to 310. This XRP ETF did crazy amounts of volume, but remember, it's not a true spot. You can only suppress and hold down something for so long. We are at the part of the movie where the soundtrack drops and then the hero walks into the spotlight. You better buckle up, because XRP is stepping into the role that it was built for. And if you are second guessing that the institutions are here, that the institutions want involvement, that the institutions are going to start allocating into crypto, I want to remind you who is going to be speaking at Ripple's Swell event in November. The NASDAQ, BNY Mellon, Citibank, BlackRock, Fidelity, Frankie, JP, CME, Moody, State Street, and DBS. Now let's go through this list real quick, okay? DBS, Franklin, we already know what they're doing, what they're there for. We know about the CME group. We know about the XRP futures that set records as well. But here's my question to you. BlackRock. And as these weeks go on, and I have a pretty good understanding of how Ripple works and how the playbook works. And I think we just seen the first part of their playbook a couple of days ago when they announced DBS Bank and Frankie, how they're teaming up with Ripple. Ripple is going to slowly start putting out the information that ties into these speakers that are going to be at Swell. And they're going to be putting this out leading all the way up to the actual Swell event. That is why we usually see this Swell pump. We've seen it every single year. And then what happens after the Swell pump? Well, people take profits and you start seeing it. Don't act surprised when this happens. Run up, profit taking, okay? But that is not the bull run. That is not the end of the bull run. That is just the Swell moment. That is your sell the news type of event, which is going to be great. okay? Because we need this price to get out of this range. I've said it before and I'll say it again. $3 to $4 is the toughest range for XRP. And I've been saying that since 2024. Why? Because a lot of people got in this $3 to $4 range and they've been holding it for almost 7 years. And they are just looking to finally get out either at an even point or taking some profits. Once that zone breaks, that area breaks, we will have that true price discovery and this thing will be set to run. But the question still remains, what is BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Moody's, BNY, NASDAQ, what are they all going to be talking about at Ripple's Swell event? So let's recap this, folks. Top, it's not in. We're not even close to the mania phase. XRP just scored another ETF entry, which means institutional flows are starting to drip in. And JP Morgan's where it's 2021. They're manifesting it right now. Ripple won, and XRP is positioned for adoption on a level most people can't wrap their heads around yet. And in the momentum across the broader payment space, it's clear. The floodgates are cracking open. I hope you're ready. Q4 is going to be one of the most exciting and bullish years you have ever been a part of in the crypto space. I'm going to leave it like that. Hope you enjoyed. Smash that like button on your way out, and I'll catch all y'all.
Shout out to Crypto Bullwinkle Blue and information. So I wanted to go over some of the XRP information from earlier. But you guys, I was looking to it. So this is, we know about the Offspring 2X XRP ETF was actually started today, I think. Generally refers to an ETF that provides a 2X leverage exposure to the price of XRP. It aims to deliver twice the daily return of XRP. So if you're looking, non-financial advice, this is just for entertainment purposes, you could pick this up. Here are a few that match the description. There is a XRPR, which is too long daily XRP ETF, seeks daily investment results before fees and responds 2x the daily performance of XRP, designated for short-term use, performs over longer periods, can diverge significantly because of daily compounding, especially in volatile markets. XRP volatile shares 2x amplified exposure aims to deliver twice the daily performance of XRP movements. Does not include invest directly in XRP. There's a risk of losses, big losses, especially if you hold more than one day. UXRP, Pro Shares Ultra XRP, targets 2x daily returns using derivatives and futures, not holding directly XRP. So I don't know about these XRPs that don't actually hold the XRP, right? Kind of weird with that. I prefer to get the ETF that's actually holding XRP versus the ones that aren't. So here is XRPI. XRPI is a EFT from Validity Shares that provides 1x exposure of XRP, the cryptocurrency, launched on May 22nd, 2025. How come I didn't know about that? Did you guys know about this? Launched in May 2025? The fund does not hold XRP actual tokens. Instead, it uses XRP future contracts, primarily via SME and XRP linked instruments to get exposure. Ticker sign XRPI, growth expense 1.15 annually. Net expense ratio 0.94. Some management fees is waived until June 2026. Asset under management around 200 to 220 mil won as of late 2025. Outstanding shares 11.4 to 11.6 million shares, and it's on the NASDAQ. Pros and cons. Easier access. You can buy shares of XRPI like any ETF in your brokerage account. No need to manage crypto wallets, private keys, and use crypto exchanges. Regulated ETF structure. The regulatory oversight of ETFs tend to be more familiar and possibly safer than many investors compared to crypto platforms. Negative. Tracking error because it uses futures, not spot XRP. Performance can diverge from actual XRP prices. Future contracts have roll cost basic risk. Volatility. XRP is volatile, and futures can amplify that risk. Losses that costs eat into returns. New fund risks. Since it's fairly new, liquidity might be lower, and there's less historical performance to rely on. And of course, this is the Grayscale CoinDex Crypto 5 ETFs. As of today, its last trading details. Last market was $58.9. Percent change is a 0.80. Net is 58.71. So I'll have to check this at the end of the day, see how it ended. Name is the Grayscale. Of course, your boys, the folks, the main business, Grayscale, also known as the GDLC, formerly Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. Might actually put some more in this. Launched and began trading as a ETP on the NASDAQ on September 19th, which is today. So this is fresh off the market, ladies and gentlemen. Asset under management, AUM, approximately 931.6 million as of September 18th. Expense ratio, approximately 0.59% annually. Holding weight of 5 cryptos. So 72% is Bitcoin, 17% is Ethereum, 5.6 is XRP, 4.1 is Solana, and 1% Cardano. So I don't know how this really loses, right? If it's a index fund, right, and it holds Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano, it will be hard for this guy to underperform. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you guys rolling with it or are you not rolling with it? Let me know either way. And let's check the price real quick. Okay, currently XRP is up 0.38% on the hour. It's down 3.2 in the day, down 7.9 on or 0.79 on the week, up 3.11 on the month, up 42.3. Well, in the last 90 days, and for the year, it's up 412.6%. Let's go. So this is coin market cap. Coin market cap says we're up 3.24% on the day, down 3.2% on the day. Market cap is 180.1 billion with a B, down 3.24%. 24-hour trading volume is 5.5 billion, down 32.5%. Oh my gosh. Let me see. XRP fell 3.04% to $3.3 in the last 24 hours, underperforming the broader crypto market at minus 1.42%. ETF launch profit taking XRP ETF debut triggered a short-term selling after initial hype, which was weird. I thought people would be buying. Technical resistance failed to hold above the $3.07 Fibonacci support, inviting bearish momentum. Market-wide dip, crypto green and fear index neutral at 52. Altcoin season dominance down 3.9 in 24 hours, pressured XRP. The deep dive. ETF sales, the news reaction. Bearish overview, the U.S. launched the spot XRP ETFs XRPR on September 18th, which was yesterday, initially drove bullish sentiment with 500K shares traded in early trading. However, traders likely locked gains as XRP underperformed Dodge ETF, DOGE post-launch. What this means, while ETFs expand institutional access, the immediate price dip reflects classic buy the rumor, sell the news. Of course, buy the rumor, sell the news. Behavior, XRP's 24-hour volume fell 34.5 to 5.24 billion, signaling fading momentum. What to watch? Sustained ETF inflows versus profit taking in coming days. What up, Crypto Clay? You've been on here for an hour solo dolo. An hour or solo days. I think Dave's been here for a minute, but either way, we're still gonna keep it pushing, man. Let me see. Actually, we're wrapping it up. XRP broke below the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement at $3.07 and pivot point $3.09. The 30-day SMA is $2.94. Now acts as the next support. What this means, bearish. The daily close below the $3.07 and validates short-term bullish structure. Bullish MACD histogram remains positive at the 0.02, suggesting dip buying potential. Key threshold, a rebound above the $3.20, 50% fib level can signal recovery. Altcoin weakness. Overall, CMC altcoin season index dropped 3.9% to 74, with Bitcoin dominance rising to 57.08. Capital rotated from alts to Bitcoin amidst macro uncertainty, hitting XRP harder than peers. XRP underperformed Bitcoin at the 0.35% 24-hour move. XRP dip combines post ETF profit taking, technical resistance, and sector-wide altcoin fatigue. While the ETF launch is long-term bullish catalyst, short-term traders are cashing out. Key watch, can XRP hold the 30-day SMA at $2.94? We're there barely to avoid a deeper correction toward $2.81, 61.8 fib. Monitor ETF flow data and Bitcoin 124 stability for directional clue. What? Bitcoin's at 124? No way. No way. Where? Yeah, something's going on because the market's crazy red. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Where is Bitcoin though? Oh, it's crazy. Ah, here we go. Bitcoin is at 115K. Down 1.4% on the day, up point on the hour. So let's go. But thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing. Thanks for watching and continuing to support your main man, BTM. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, let's get back to the money and stay dangerous. Miner out.